And welcome to First Coast News at 11. I'm Jeff Vallon.
And I'm Jeannie Blaylock. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Tonight we're hearing from a young woman who got the opportunity to earn a degree at Flagler College thanks to her stepfather's military service and the GI Bill.
But now, after graduation, she's facing a $40,000 tuition bill plus interest thanks to one failed physical by her stepfather, a veteran. He says he was less than 1% body fat over the military's limit. On your sides, Julia Janae has the story that continues our multi-part investigation into this VA policy.
For Alicia Leon, graduating from Flagler College was a milestone towards her future, only made possible by her stepfather's military service and his transfer GI Bill.
He devoted his life to the country, and we did too as a family.
It's a benefit they thought was ironclad. She now says it has her life on lockdown.
Trying not to let it ruin your hopes and dreams.
Leon is talking to us via Skype from San Juan, Puerto Rico. After Hurricane Maria ravaged the island last year, she's there working with relief efforts.
This is what I wanted to do, and I'm gonna do it. But I was really unsure about accepting this position at first.
Unsure because of money. Patrick Marsh had served nearly 15 years in the Navy. Leon says an unexpected weight assessment changed everything.
He was discharged for 1% body fat.
Marsh's discharge was honorable, according to military release papers. The reason for separation? Weight control. According to Marsh and Leon, he weighed in at 221 pounds. With 22.75% body fat, this was less than 1% over the Navy's limit in 2013.
Leon had already graduated from Flagler College years before the discharge, but her benefits dissolved with it. This year, the VA started garnishing up to 25% of her paycheck, all to get back the nearly $40,000 they had paid to Flagler.
Start to wonder, what is the point of doing all of this if I'm just going to work to be in debt all the time, and you can't keep your head above water.
Leon contacted First Coast News after finding our story on Jordan Bigby.
How do you know if this is going to happen to you or not?
A military daughter in mounds of debt after her Army father was honorably discharged, but not by choice. Over a dozen people chimed in on social media, saying technicalities left them on the hook for education costs they thought were covered by the GI Bill.
It gave me a little bit of relief to know that I wasn't the only one going through it, but also made me more upset.
The Department of Defense has told us a failure to complete a full service agreement can result in a cancellation of benefits.
It happens all the time.
Dick Aquino, volunteer veteran service officer in Jacksonville, said an early discharge can be complicated even if it's honorable.
Even though they're honorable, the benefits can be curtailed.
There are exceptions, like if the discharge is for medical reasons or a reduction in forces. So far, the VA doesn't agree Leon meets the exceptions.
Honestly, it's been so stressful. Every time we try writing to somebody and don't get a response, you kind of just lose hope.
Her hope is for a change in policy that recognizes how dependents can get saddled with debt over something they can't control.
We serve too. Our family's gone most of the time. It's painful. The VA needs a complete overhaul in certain aspects of how they do business. The world needs to know about what's going on.
Now, we sent an open records request to the VA 3 weeks ago asking how many dependents are paying back education benefits that they lost. We're still waiting to hear back. Now, there's one more thing that makes this case even more interesting. According to this Navy Times article back in 2015, the Navy changed its weight requirements to 24% body fat for Marsh's category. Marsh would have passed if that had been the limit back when he took the test. Reporting on your side, Julia Janae, First Coast News on your side.
That's a tough